Now, did you see a firearm that night?
Was born is was born.
The boy is dead.
Yes, he was in possession of that firearm.
And how did that suspect with the firearm hold that firearm as he came in towards the hallway in the house?
Why is putting his hand aside right?
He had the firearm, or he held the firearm with his right hand.
Yes, but what I want to know, was it pointed at the people in the house with his hand outstretched in front, or was it holding it down as he entered the house?
Yeah, I was expecting but not to like Kubunto yet. I was expecting his hand again.
It was really, it was wielded in that fashion. In other words, in a pointing form, even though he wasn't pointing at any person in particular, but it was in a pointing form. And I was able to see the barrel of that firearm. You know, as I was positioned like that, when I looked at the firearm, I could then have access to the barrel of the firearm as it was wielded in that fashion.
Now, taking from what you say that it wasn't pointed at a specific person, because remember, according to the photos that we've seen, there were two couches with three people on this side, and Kelly on the other side towards the passage. Did he move it around to show his dominance of the people in the house, or was it just in a fixed position but not particularly?
All of this is also ukuthi kwakhona ama-couch amabili, 3 behleli ngapha, 3 behleli ngapha, ukheli behleli ukuya khona lapha ngepassage. Mhlambe-ke ubeloko esikhomba kanjalo esihambisa ukubonisa-ke ukuthi usebenzisa-ke igunya lakhe phezu kwawo wonke umuntu obekhona ngalapho, okanye ukuba namandla phezu kwawo wonke umuntu obekhona ngalapha endlini. Wayeloko esihambisa kanjalo leso sibhamu noma kanjalo.
Ukwenza kwalento akwenzekanga isikhathi eside, so wonke kube nalento ukuthi ucheck-a yini ukuthi wenzani, because ngabe sengisho ukuthi bakunovalo phakathi.
Now this incident actually happened at the shortest time I can remember. One would not necessarily be having an opportunity to can observe what this person was doing in detail. Remember, I've already indicated that I personally was undershot as well, and that it could have been that I also took out my cell phone from within the pocket at that time.
Now, during that stage, did the gunman cock or wreck the firearm?
Regardless of the stage, it was British Palm, the motor British Palm, and this is cut. No, he didn't cock the firearm. He just barged in there with the firearm wielded out.
Now, just to go back on something that you just mentioned before about the firearm, which position or from which perspective did you see the firearm, the front or the side of the firearm?
The barrel, the front side of the barrel of the firearm.
So you were literally staring down the barrel of a gun. What color was the firearm, if you recall?
Was blackish, worn out, kind of rusty.
And just by using the dimensions with your hands, can you tell the length of that firearm?
That could have been the estimated length of the firearm. I went a 40-foot. About 14 centimeters. About 14 centimeters. 20.
you tell if the firearm had a wheel on the side, something that looked like a wheel or a retreating object on the side?
Ubona mhlambe leso sibhamu sasine into engathi i-wheel okanye isonto nyana nje lapho kuso leso sibhamu. Engathi iyajikeleza nje.
Ngabona ngathi isona esinesona phela mangisibuka badani yonke ngisibukanga isikhathi eside nami.
I looked at it and like I have already said that I didn't take a lot of time to observe that particular firearm, but it looked to me as though it was a firearm that had a wheel on it.
Now, prior to the events of the 26th of October 2014, had you seen the person that was holding the firearm in the house that night?
And when I was 26th October 2014, lo muntu bephethe isibhamu ngaleso sikhathi uke wambona phambilini ubuke wambona
ngingambona
shothi-ke ngisho isigameko senzeke ngeyi-26
yes
phambi kwe-26 ubuke wambona nanoma yikuphi lo muntu esebephethe isibhamu
cha angazi ngimbona.
I've never seen him before.
And after the incident of the 26th of August 2014, October 2014, I'm sorry, did you see that person again? Have you ever seen him since?
Emva kwesigameko sange-26 October 2014 uphinde wambona futhi.
Cha angazi.
I've never seen him.
According to your testimony, this is an armed robbery for money and phones. Yet people in the house, one, Zatila Kumala testified that the minute that demand was made, she hid the phone beneath the cushion where she was sitting.
Yabona enye yezathu enza ukuthi mhlawumbe ukuthi ngikhulume ngaleyo ndlela ukuthi uZandile ukhulumile lokho uthi makeza nje ukuthi manje kufuneka ama-cellphone wase ufihla i-cellphone ngaphansi kwekhishini la ebehleli khona ukuthi bakhona labantu la endlini.
Yeah, but angeke ngakhuluma kakhulu ngoZandile mhlawumbe because statement sakhe leso official nami endlini angeke ngibuke wonke umuntu uthenzani umuntu seseyinakela ngaleso sikhathi.
No, I cannot speak on behalf of Zandile. That's her statement, Advocate Ramasipile. And mind you, I also am inside of the house. I cannot be monitoring every move that is done by every person who's inside of the house.
And two, Makumalo's phone is charging right at the kitchen, on top of a stove somewhere.
Okwesibili, naye ifoni kaMakumalo phezu kwesitofu eduze nesitofu laphayana iyachajwa khona lapho.
But the intruders will take it.
Kodwa labangeneleli abayithathi leyo cellphone.
Angeke ngachaza-ke lokho ngifuna ukuchaza ukungena kuloko ngoba akubhalwanga yimina so bengingajabula umuzi wakho uma engaqonda exactly entweni ibhalwe yimi so le bhalwe ngomunye umuntu uzozizela nekhodi ayichazeleni ukuthi usho ukuthini uma bengenza kanjani into kanje.
Well, I cannot be explicit on that one. This is something that was not narrated by myself. It is not something that was not written by me. I would really appreciate if the questions were really have to do with myself, what I observed or witnessed. I can't say anything pertaining to what I said. For your information, my phone was in my possession.
And three, Longwetwala, who possibly has got a phone or cash on him, is also allowed to leave the house without being searched for sale.
Omunye futhi nangu lo. Unemali kuyena uyakhonakala. Futhi une-cellphone bayamvumela nje ukuthi aphume.
Ubani othwele imali lo?
Who said that Longe was in possession of the cash?
And four, the intruders do not even search the people in the house for money and cell phones.
Okwesine, labantu abangena endlini ababaseshi labantu abasendlini. Babaseshe ukuthi bafuna ama-cellphone nemali ababaseshi nhlobo.
I think uma uzosesha umuntu kufanele ube nendlela ozomlalisa ngayo or umyise ngendlela ozomyisa ngayo so sasinike ukuphusha ukuthi asimanjise udongora sasilaniswe phansi so babezosesha kanjani.
How are they going to search us? I think that if you have to search a person, you must position them in a conducive, position that would allow you to be able to search them. Perhaps you can even tell them, lie down or stand against the wall. So all of us were not instructed to do that.
Just before the long adjournment, you testify that accused number one came in and he was in leg irons and handcuffed, and that Mr. Zwane then made that remark which you've placed on record, and that the accused responded. You've placed the response on record. You can continue. Yes. In other words, he said it's in connection with the matter for which we came for cleansing.
Correct, my lord.
Yes.
So, maybe before I come into that, my lord, let me just go back a bit. I forgot something. When I was indicating the pointers that I was looking at insofar as establishing whether they were people who came into the house, whether they were intruders or not, I forgot two points as well. I had to think about them while I was right. So I remember there were two aspects on, just to add those.
Yes.
In addition to what I've said, my lord, the other part that I looked at was the ballistic testing of Mr. Silotwala's firearm.
Ngiphinde ngakubheka futhi ebengikhohlwe ukukusho ukuhlolwa kweballistic kwesibhamu sikaSilotwala.
And it was because, my lord, there was a suggestion, or there seems to be rumors, because really we're nothing else but rumors, my lord. I must maybe put that into context, and the court will understand why I'm saying that. There were these rumors that suggest that that firearm was used in the killing of Senzo Meyiwa.
Ukuthi-ke futhi kukhona amahlebezi athi leso sibhamu sasisetshenzisiwe ekubulaleni uSenzo Meyiwa.
Now the ballistic testing, my lord, was negative.
Manje uma kuhlolwa-ke ngeballistic kubonakala ukuthi cha kusona lesi sibhamu esasisetshenziswa.
Meaning it was not the firearm that was used to discharge the bullet point or the projectile that was found at the crime scene, and the one that killed the deceased.
Kusho ukuthi-ke la kwahlolwa kwabonakala ukuthi akusona lesi sibhamu esadubula le nhlamvu etholakala endaweni yobugebengu ekuthiwa-ke iyona nhlamvu lena eyabulala uSenzo Meyiwa.
The second point, my lord, in the disagreement,
Lieutenant Colonel Mangena testified about the ballistic report that you have just referred to, and it also serves as an exhibit before this court.
Yes, my lord.
Lieutenant Colonel Mangena waletha umbiko wase futhi-ke fakaza ngokuhlolwa kwezinhlamvu.
We will just come back to this at the later stage. Yes.
All right, my lord, yes. So the second aspect, my lord, was that in the docket, and I'm referring to docket 636 of 10/2014, the phosphorus docket, my lord, there was no statement then, and I don't have any up to today that says there is a witness who saw either Longwe or Kelly Kumalo or anyone in the house killing Senzo Meyiwa. In fact, the statements are saying intruders. So there is no statement under oath in this docket or suggestion, if you look at the preliminary evidence that was collected on that day, continuously before I got on board up to the time I came on board, that suggests or even make suggestion under oath that the deceased was killed by the people who were inside the house.
Okuyako okwangenza ukuthi ngicabange kanjalo ukuthi-ke kule docket leno 63610 2014 akukho statement noma ufakazi othi wabona uLongwe Thwala noma uKelly Khumalo ebulala uSenzo Meyiwa. Zonke izitatimende zikhomba ukuthi-ke izelelesi ezasihlasele ekuyizona ezabulala uSenzo Meyiwa.
And in this regard, my lord, I'm talking about direct witnesses. Someone who says, I saw Senzo Meyiwa being shot by X who was in the house.
Lapha-ke ngikhuluma ngababona ngeso owathi ngabona ngeso lami uSenzo Meyiwa edutshulwa usibani bani.
Or someone, my lord, who even goes to an extent of saying there were no intruders. I didn't see anyone going into the house. I heard gunshot and I didn't see people go running out of that house. There is no such a statement or such an eyewitness, my lord.
Akusikho futhi nestatement esithi cha ngezwa kudutshulwa kodwa ngizange ngibone umuntu ebaleka kuleyo.
The only statement, my lord, that wants to suggest, but it's a hearsay, is the one that was made by Mr. Thorpe, which seems to say he heard from one of the people who was inside the house, in specific Mr. Tumelo Madlala, that the deceased was shot by mistake, but Mr. Madlala refuted that, my lord.
Manje-ke engathi mhlambe kucishe kusondele kulo mbono ukuthi kwakukhona istatement esenziwa uHlophe owathi wezwa uTumelo Madlala ethi uSenzo wadubuleka ngephutha kodwa-ke uba uHlophe leso statement leso sagcina sichithiwe.
So, my lord, in essence, I'm saying taking these 2 points and the other ones that I've mentioned before, there couldn't be any. I don't know if anyone could come to a different conclusion to say there were no intruders. The facts, if they are presented to me today, I would have embarked on the same approach of believing that there were intruders and the process must be embarked on to find the intruders.
Manje-ke konke-ke lokhu ngikholele ekutheni ngibone ukuthi wukho omunye umbono ongaba khona ukuthi babengekho abantu abahlasela lapho nanoma ngingabheka namhlanje ngisazofika kulesi sinqumo sokuthi babe khona abantu ababehlasele ngalelo langa.
The motive is something different, my lord, but simply the intruders, factually I was convinced and I still am that they were intruders. Next to Bastutini Hostel, or rather around there on the street, and that is in line with what the investigation was saying, that they would have met in that hostel before the incident was executed and then met after, and thereafter he was dropped after the incident, my lord. So that location, because I know that place as well, my lord, it is situated around the Basuthini hostel.
And futhi-ke wahamba ekhomba-ke ihostel laseBasuthini la ekuthiwa khona babeyahlangana bengakayi endaweni yobugebengu nokuthi-ke emva kwalokho-ke baphinde bayohlangana khona-ke lapho ngiyayazi leya ndawo ngabona ukuthi yona.
My lord, what I also forget, if I can just take the quote back, I forgot to mention it when I was talking to him on the 30th. This is now when he was making assertion or admitting to his involvement in the killing of the deceased. One of the things that he mentioned was that this murder, it was a contractual killing that was given to them by then the girlfriend of the deceased, Miss Kelly Kumalo.
Manje okunye ngifuna ngikusho bese ngikhohle ukusho ukuthi ngomhla ka-30 uma ngikhuluma naye wamukela ukuthi yebo wayethinteke ekubulaweni kukamufi futhi-ke nokusho ukuthi umufi wabulawa abantu abathunyiwe and kuwukuthi-ke bayethunyelwe ingcwayi kamufi okwakuwuKelly Kumalo.
At which point did you mention that?
It was during our interaction outside at the parking lot of the police station, my lord, in Phosphorus. That is prior to him being handed over to Colonel Mboto before we moved to Ereton.
Kusho-ke lokhu kwenzeka lokhu ephakeni lase-Phosphorus dluliselwa-ke kuKhenele ukuthi-ke ayokhulumisana naye ayothatha istatement.
Now, my lord, I'm saying the part of the girlfriend running away of Kelly Kumalo, and I seem to recall, my lord, that when the first shot was discharged, according to the statements, the people who were there ran to different directions, so that accords with what was said, my lord.
Futhi-ke uyasho lana ukuthi uKelly Kumalo wabaleka and statement-ke zalapho bengaphakathi ziyasho ukuthi kuyathi umakhala isibhamu babaleka.
Yes. Specific reference is made to the fact that Kelly ran to the bedroom.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, my lord. I seem to recall that there is that reference from Miss Kelly Kumalo that they ran to different direction, including the bedrooms, my lord, when the first shot went off.
ngiyakhumbula ukuthi kwakukhona-ke yebo nokusho ukuthi ekuvela kukhulumalo ukuthi babaleka ukuthi ukhele ikhulumalo wabaleka ebalekela ebedroom kusho iy'tatimende ezabalabo bengaphakathi.
And there's also reference to the fact that the occupants were in the dining room.
That is correct, my lord, and that's consistent with the statements that were disposed by the people who were inside the house.
Futhi-ke ababengaphakathi endlini basho futhi nabo ukuthi babese dining room nalana kulesi statement siyasho futhi ukuthi babese dining room.
And also reference is made to the firing of 2 shots.
That is correct, my lord. That is in line with some of the statements, but it's also in line with the ballistic expert, who, according to the reports, they were able to refer to 2 firearms. One projectile that they worked on and one damaged projectile, spent bullet that was damaged after it was discharged.
Athi yebo lokho ukuthi kwajujulwa kabili kuyahambisana nalokhu kubhalwe iy'tatiments zalaba ngaphakathi endlini kodwa-ke futhi kukhona nobufakazi obatholakala kulabo ababehlola-ke ochwepheshe behlola i-ballistic ukuthi kwakukhona inhlamvu nenhlamvu eyonakele yatholakala.
And just lastly on this point, if we can just read
The first thing that I indicated was that as I walked into the courtroom, I was then able to see him, and I said to myself, this person I once met before, and the question could be that, where did I meet with this particular person? That's number one.
Okwesibili ngimkhumbula nangentsebe yakhe ayenzile ngaleso sikhathi ngisho umqondo wami ngiyamkhumbula nje intshebe yakhe ayenzile because beshiye lokho kulakuthiwa eshiye la eshiye ekugundile nje ekhathi iround ngolongo so eshiye lokho kulana ke ekhathile nje kade.
I also remember him based on the beard, how his beard was actually trimmed. It was trimmed such that it has formed an O around his, his mouth, upper lip as well as the chin, so covering that area. That I saw, and as well as a bit of the hair here, just under the lower lip.
Nanokuthi wayemudeke futhi.
And further, that he was tall in physique.
Now, let's talk about the beard here, beneath the lower lip. How pronounced or visible was that? How thick was that beard here?
Yabona le ntshejana eyayila ngaphansi kwalolu udabelolu ngaphansi. Beyinjani? Iy'nwele zakhona bezinjani? Beyibonakala kangakanani?
Intshebe lapha la ayijwayele ukuba inkulu vele even noma ikhulu ayijwayele ukuba inkulu ayikazi ibe inkulu eziningi kwazi ukuchaza usayiva kodwa ayibi inkulu.
Now, generally, that beard at that particular spot does not grow to be very bushy. I may not necessarily give a clearer description pertaining it, but it doesn't. It doesn't grow to be very, very thick and bushy. That one.
Now, accused number 2, it strikes me that he's never had this beard here. In fact, it doesn't grow on him, and he's never had an O-shaped beard, like you say, the second suspect had. And furthermore, that he's always kept the goatee, the one that you see here in court, from as long as he can remember.
Futhi akakaze abe nonwele oluvela khona la ngaphansi kwaloludebe olungaphansi lwalende olungaphansi. Futhi-ke akakaze-ke enze leso style se-O njengoba wena usho wezamadevu kanjalo. Kanti-ke ube loko ebukeka ngale ndlela ebukeka ngakhona. I should also indicate that the witness find it amusing right now before he can answer.
Angimazi ukuthi ngalokho kusho ukuthi mina ngiyagula ekhanda lapho.
I don't know what is he intending with that. It means that I am insane in my mind.
Lokho akushoyo angimazi ukuthathela vele ngicala umpiko lokho akusho angimazi ukuthathela ezifo wena mtshela umsibele umele yena la.
As far
Kufanele akusile lokho.
now, the hand of the accused number 2 is on my left.
he's saying if the court is willing, you can come and have a look at him.
Which court?
If the court.
Which one?
Sorry, my lord.
Which court?
This one.
Honest.
No, sorry, the witness, my lord, not the court. Sorry, if the witness can be allowed by the court to go and have a look at him that he's never had that beard that he testifies about.
He is inviting the witness to go to him.
Yes.
Angisoze ngasondela eduze kwakhe ngishisa ithanga.
I will never come close to him. As he's seated there, he's actually my enemy. I will never, even if he may want for me to come close to him, I won't go to him.
Kunento kufanele bayazi abafowethu. Mina nginandaba nabo, angibasani futhi. Abo manje basabele bengibuka lapho ngathi konke abazenza.
There's this one thing, interpreters. There's this one thing that all these gentlemen here who are seated there should know about me. I don't care about them. I don't care, and I'm not even afraid of them. They're seated there looking at me like that. I don't care about them.
No, that's fine. What he was just saying that as much as you are adamant that he had this beard, he's also adamant that he has never had it. That's the point.
Uyabona-ke njengoba nawe udizelela ukuthi ube nentshatshana la uyasho-ke naye ube ngenayo.
Ayakushoyo kamnandi kumele akuprove but mina ngiyakusho lokukhona ngiyakwazi futhi ngakubona.
Now whatever that he says, he's got the right to prove it. However, on my side, I know what is it that I witnessed. I know what I saw. And it is there.
Now, I put it to you that the description by which you identified accused number 2 is vague and general, and it meets all sort of thousands and thousands of men out there.
Ngibeke ukuthi yabona-ke lo mfanekiso othulela enkantolo omayelana nomangalelo wesibili umfanekiso nje ongavele ufane nanoma ubani ngoba phela-ke awuyikhethanga lo mfanekiso futhi-ke awunazo iy'mpawu eziyikhethile nanoma ubani ngaba yingxenye yalo mfanekiso wena ophana ngawo la enkantolo.
Ya phela mina la enkantolo angizelanga nanobani ngize ngalo engibonayo mina ngikhuluma ngalo engibonayo hayi nanobani.
Now the fact of the matter is that I am not here for any other man or any other person that I see. There is a person in particular that had led me to come and testify in this court.
In fact, I put it to you that that description of a beard below the lower lip, an O-type beard around the mouth, height, and a hoodie wouldn't assist the police in locating the perpetrator. If you said to the police, go and look for this perpetrator,
Engikushoyo-ke ukuthi
descriptors.
lezo mpawu ophane ngazo le ntshatshana okanye le eyayilana nalo intshebe yayenza olana emlomeni nokuthi-ke ubefake ihudi ube mude angeke ukwazi ukusiza amaphoyisa uma umuntu engathi-ke nawu-ke umfanekiso sengimnikezile hambani yofuna lowo muntu angeke ukwazi ukusiza amaphoyisa.
Khona nje mina ngimbona ngangibonile mina ngimbona yeka umfana mina ngimbona.
I am available. Isn't it so that I'm the one that witnessed? I was in the house. I'm the one that saw him.
How far was the first suspect from you where you were seated when you first noticed him?
Ube kude kangani nawe ukusuka lapho uhleli khona lo ungenele ukuqala ngawumbona. Ngikhathanisana la wena buhleli ngapha. Now ungasho ukuthi ngoba ngihleli la yena ube laphayana wena ube laphayana.
I think ngifindicate la isithombe because nesivele isithombe ngasho ukuthi ngabe ngihleli kuphi umsola uqala wangena wama kuphi.
Now I think it was depicted in one of the pictures that I indicated that this is where I was seated at and this is where the intruder came and stood at.
Yeah, but the picture doesn't show measurements of distance. They only depict the sofas and the hallway.
Uyabona-ke isithombe asesinikezi nje ibanga okanye-ke ama-distance kanjalo.
Nama ngengikwazi ukukala ama-distance. Nankinga engingaba ngizobhekana ngengikwazi ukukala ama-distance.
I also cannot measure distances.
Because leyandlu
That's my problem. Because that house is small.
incane.
That house is small.
Now, the first suspect gets into the house and Kelly's narrating the story. Did the first suspect do anything to Kelly before she ran to the bedroom?
Lo owokuqala uyangena. uKelly lokuyakhuluma la nje. Ngabe khona ukuthizeke akwenza kuKelly. Emva ukuthi uKelly abaleka engase egumbini lokulala.
Naya, akukho.
No, there isn't anything that he did to her.
Now, according to your version, is that Longwe Twala, out of the blue, stands up, approaches the suspect with a firearm, pushes him away, and then goes out of the house, correct?
Ilokho kushoyo ukuthi nangu umsodo uphethe isibhamu uyasukuma uLongwe uyabuye uyampusha ubese uyaphuma uLongwe ilokho kushoyo.
Angibonanga ngisho esukuma lokho kusukuma ngathi uzosuka aqala aba bese yabanye angibonanga ngisho esukuma ngale wasuka nje straight eyokuphusha lo ngokukhulu ukushesha angibonanga ngisho aqala esukuma nje.
No, I didn't even see or witness him at the time that he stood up. What I saw was that he just took off and stomped at him, pushed him away, and then he exited.
I get to that everything was happening super fast.
Ngithola ukuthi lokho kwenzeka ngokushesha okukhulu.
They are made super fast. Yeah, ngokushesha.
Yes. I got a bit confused when you said super fast. Yes, fast, I agree.
And along the same idea, did you see where and how Longwe Twala pushed the first suspect?
Where in terms of the position?
Where on the body of the
where on
second
the body?
suspect did Longwe push him?
Oke wabona nje uthe makamthinta emphusha wamthinta kuphi emzimbeni?
Ayangibonakanga kwayilo ukuthi wamthinta kuphi kodwa ngwazi wamphusha nje waseyaphuma.
I didn't take notice of that as to what particular part of the body did he actually come in contact with. All I know is that he just pushed him and then fled out.
I think lokhu sezosiphendulela yena meza la court.
I think it will now be up to him to come and explain to the court.
Yeah, but I'm asking your recollection. You were there observing the incidents as they happened.
Mina-ke ngiyazama-ke ngiyayinusela la kuwe mayelana-ke nokukhumbula kwakho wena umuntu okwazile ukubona ukuthi kwenzakalani.
Siqinisile ngalapho but ngangingobserve yonke into ungazuthi ngihleli ngabe sengichazela ngihlale ngibukele yonke into ungazuthi kumnandi.
Now you are, that is true that there are certain things that I may have observed, but bear in mind I wasn't just relaxed as though now I'm watching something that was happening in front of my eyes.
Because
one of the things that I was thinking of was I should also exit the house.
And at the time, Longwe, let's forget about standing up. You seeing him pushing the first suspect. Was the first suspect still pointing the firearm at the people in the house?
Ngenkathi umbone ephusha lo-ke ususpect wokuqala ngabe lo suspect wokuqala ube vele eloko ekhombe isibhamu kulabantu abebekhona endlini.
Yebo.
Yes.
And what did the second suspect do after being pushed by Longwe?
Wenzani-ke emva kokuthi aphushe uLongwe lophusha lokuqala suspect wokuqala?
Lo wesibini, lo
Are you referring to the
remember, Longwe pushes him. Well, what happens to him? Does he stumble? Does he fall? What happens to him?
Uyathola shuthi-ke uyamphusha lo wokuqala uLongwe yampusha.
Yes.
Wenzakalani makampusha wenze njani?
Akawa
Uyawa or
ngaphansi.
no, he didn't entirely fall. He didn't fall to the floor.
What happened to him?
Wenzakalani ngathi?
Observation.
Still wayesamile but ukuthi wenza wayesamile kodwa azange awe like phansi.
He didn't fall to the floor. He was still standing.
And as Longwe is now, has pushed this first suspect, where's the second suspect in relation to this incident of Longwe pushing the first suspect?
Ulongwe nangusephushe lona uqala. Ukuphi-ke lo wesibili?
I think wangasemnyango.
He was on the door side.
Umnyango lo wasekhishini wangasemnyango lo wasekhishini.
He was along or by the door of the kitchen.
Let's clarify the door, because if you refer to the door, it's been used, different ways here. Are you referring to the ground door, the actual door, where there's a security gate?
I'm referring to the kitchen door.
And as Longwe is now, was he running, was he walking out of the house?
Ulongwe ube kitchen ephuma endlini noma ube ehambela nje ephuma endlini?
Hayi wayekitchen.
He was running.
Did the first or the second suspect try to restrain him from running away?
Ngabe lo wokuqala noma wesibili bazama ukumnqanda ukuthi angabaleki?
Njengoba ngisho ukuthi ngangikwazi ukumbona lo wesibili if ngingasumanga ngamalanga asekhishini. La from la ngangikhona ngithi kunomonda umbona umuntu la ubona lo seqhamukile kwena.
Now, as I've already indicated, that I wouldn't have been able to see the second suspect at the time because there is a wall that is between that kitchen area and as well as where I was. You can only see a person when he appears close to where I was at the time. So the second one, I couldn't see him.
So did the first suspect chase after Longwe?
Lo wokuqala-ke wagijimisa uLongwe. No, he didn't chase after Longwe.
Now your testimony further is that once Longwe had pushed the first suspect away and ran out of the house, it gave the people in the house an opportunity to stand up from the sofas that they were sitting at, correct?
Yilokho shilo ukuthi emva kokuthi lona uLongwe aphushe lo msolo wokuqala, lokho kwanikeza abantu ababesendlini ithuba lokuthi nabo mabasukume baye kuyeke bayobhekana naye ngqo.
Yebo kunjalo.
That is indeed so.
And that is the start of what has been termed by previous witnesses here as a scuffle in the house. Right?
Kwaba uqala-ke kwaleyo usho oqala-ke oke omnye wofakazi oke weza wazala enkantolo khuluma ngendaba ukuthi kwaba nokudonsa-donsana-ke lapho okanye inxushunxushu ekhe yabakhona.
Ya kunjalo.
That is indeed so.
And this scuffle starts from the sitting room area and ends up deep in the kitchen towards the door. In fact, actually at the door, correct?
Uqala khona laphayana-ke ngasekitchen ukufika ngale emnyango wasekitchen.
Yebo kunjalo.
It is indeed so.
Now, earlier on and even yesterday, you stated that Senzo Meiwa was now pinning the second suspect against the wall, holding the second suspect's arm with his two hands. That is Senzo's two hands, correct?
Yilokho kushilo ukuthi naku-ke usebamba lona owesibili uyambamba-ke wase umbeka nje khona laphana emphushela embambela edongweni esebenzisa izandla zakhe eziwu-2 ebambe nje ingabe yakhe yodwa.
Yebo kunjalo.
It is indeed so, yes.
And your testimony is that your crutches were used, but in particular, you vividly remember Zandi Kumalo hitting, was it the second suspect with a crutch? Was that your evidence?
Uyakhumbula ngendlela egqamile mayelana-ke nama-crutches wakho uthi lona uZandi Khumalo washaya muphi-ke umsola owokuqala noma owesibili nge-crutch?
Mina ngikhumbulelwa nalo wokuqala lokuyena wayenza ama-threat.
I remember her fighting with the first one, the one that had dreadlocks.
Yes, I understand that. But the one that she actually hit with a crutch, which one was that between the first and
Lona
the second suspect?
lo amshaya ngale crutch omuphi wokuqala noma owesibili ngikhumbula.
Ngiyasho ukuthi bebekalwa nalo bebeshaya lo wama-threat lokuqala.
I am saying that he was she was fighting, or they were fighting with the first one that was having dreadlocks.
Now, on that aspect, Zandi Kumalo testified in court as follows, that she then went and fetched a crutch from next to the heater where the crutches were.
Okushilo kanjalo uZandi ukuthi wahamba wathatha icrash eseduze neheater laphayana uyavuma?
ama-crutches ayetela ebondeni nje liseduze ne-heater.
Yes, I concur with that. The crutches were just leaning against the wall close to where the heater was.
And that she came into the kitchen to join the fight in order to hit the second suspect with that crutch.
Waya-ke ngasekishini yoba ingxenye yale mpi yayenzeka khona lapha ekishini uthi ashaye lo msolwa lona-ke nge-crash.
Istatement sakhe leso but mina njengoba ngisho basukuma kuqala kunami njengoba uyena uma wakhe nokile basukuma kuqala kunami.
That would be her version.
And
like I have already said, that they were the very first people to stand up and they accosted this person. It was herself, that is Zandi Kumalo, Kelly Kumalo, and Mrs. Kumalo Senior, or their mother.
And further she testified that because of her stature being short and tiny, and there were people in front of her, she couldn't actually hit the second suspect. That's when you took the crutch from her and hit the suspect, the second suspect on the head with that crutch.
Thina ngenxa ukuthi beke umfishane umzimba omncanyana nje nawo wayengakhona-ke ukushaya lo msolo lowo. Wena-ke wasuthatha icrash kuyena washaya umsolo lo wesibili.
Ngiyakuzwa but angikhumbuli ngisebenzisa icrash mina. According to statement sakhe asibhalile angeke mina ngisishintshe esakhe but angisikhumbuli nje ngithatha icrash mina.
I hear what you're saying. Well, I do not remember taking a crash and hitting this person with it. I hit him with a punch, or a clenched fist. I do not remember taking that would actually be evidence, but I cannot change her evidence. I cannot change her statement.
Your evidence is that you then hit the second suspect with a fist, correct?
That's correct.
When did that happen in the context of the scuffle that was happening in the kitchen?
At that time that Senzo had pinned him against the wall. Now, it was at the time that I had purpose to exit the house, and when I saw Senzo pinning him like that against the wall, that's when I decided, no, I'm no longer exiting the house. I then unleashed a punch against him.
Now, did the first and the second suspects fight back or retaliate as they were being assaulted by the people from the house?
Bayiphindisela yini ngoba beshawa abantu abangaphakathi sengisho bona-ke umangele wokuqala wayemsolo wokuqala nomsolo wesibili bayiphindisela yini?
I think ukuphuma kwesibhamu ikhona ababezama ukuthi basithuse ngako or benze into abanye because sathi masikhuluma isibhamu ngabaleka nayo ngene ekamereni.
I think the gunshot that was discharged could have been their attempt to disperse us or to ward us off, because after that, that's when I ran to go and hide myself with to hide myself in the bedroom.
Now, Mtogozi Sitwala testified in this court that he was not part of the scuffle because he was protecting Christian from being harmed. So he watched the scuffle from his vantage point at the entrance passageway of the kitchen inside. What role did he play, if at all, Mtogozi Sitwala in the scuffle?
Umthokoze sike uthi yena ichaza libamba laphayana ukuthi makavikele uChristian. Kanti-ke beke ngekho kangako laphayana ku lokhu donsisana lapho okanye ukulwisana okwakhona laphayana. Uthini-ke wena ngendlela owabona ngakhona ube kuphi-ke umthokozisi mayelana-ke nalokho kwakwenzeka khona laphana kuleyo passage ukuya ngasekhishini?
Umthokozisi uqinisile uqinisile ukuthi usazi umuntu othanda ukulwa ngiyasoze uzokuthiwa umile onjani so
He's stating the truth. He's not the kind of a person that likes getting involved in fights.
ubengekho la kwenzeka yonke lento so nje bengemuva angazi ukuthi wayenzani nje wethu ayizamprotect uChristian because Christian naye wayeluleke yaluza la.
He was not the part of that commotion that was happening there. He was just behind. I think he was indeed trying to protect Christian. I don't know what Christian was doing there, but he was trying to protect him.
And what role did Kelly Kumalo play in the scuffle?
Khona lapho kuleso scuffle. uKelly yena-ke ubambe lokhu iqhaza lapho.
Angingasho lo ngamsoyizela naye lo azoyichazela la ekhoti lo angingasho wabamba ibali.
The facts that are stated in this confession, exhibit FF, were they known to you or any member of the team?
No, my lord, they were not known to us, my lord. In fact, my lord, as I said, what we heard at the time is that he was one of the shooters. We did not know that he was standing outside. This fact came from him. What I heard in terms of the affidavit that was disposed by Mr. Absalom Zungu is that him and accused two were the perpetrators. And that was in line with the docket. So in our understanding at the time is that he was one of the perpetrators. He gave a different submission as per this document, my lord. We didn't know this.
Asasakwazi lokho esakuthola ku-Absalom Zungu ukuthi yena nomsolisi bili babe abanye bezelelisi ukuthi-ke yena wayemi ngaphandle sasingakwazi konke lokho esasikwazi nje ukuthi lokho esikunikwe u-Absalom Theli.
My lord, we just request that the reference to what was said by Absalom Zungu be left out of account. Reference as to what would have been mentioned by Absalom Zungu be left out of account, as he hasn't been called as a witness. Is it correct to say that you were? Yes. No, Mr. Absalom Zungu.
Oh, Zungu?
Yes.
Absalom?
Yes.
Oh, is that the father to
Yes.
the police guy?
Yes.
Yeah, but did he make a statement?
Yes, he did make a statement.
Yeah, fine, man.
Yes.
I'll disallow
So-
it. But do you know the case of Dipoko?
Yes.
You know that case? Talks about hearsay evidence.
Yes.
It's an SCA case, 2009 by Unterhalter. It's related to Mudimu, etc., etc. Just read that case. What it says about a report which is made to a person by a witness. Okay, fine. We heard you.
There's also the Hearsay Act, but
Yeah,
you
yeah.
were working on the information that we had at your disposal.
Indeed, my lord.
Yeah, but you say I must exclude it. I'll exclude it because you see
Yes. Yes. Yes, I think there's a duty on the state not to let hearsay evidence.
Yeah, fine.
Yes. If you can just put the contents of paragraph 10 on record. Or maybe starting from paragraph 9.
Okay, my lord. So it reads as follows. After dropping the call, he told us that Kelly is calling and want to know if we are coming. Then we alighted at the corner and we walked on foot to the house. And the firearm was with Marco. And he asked who was going to enter the house. We decide that we can make as if we are committing a robbery, and the firearm was one and it was at Marco's possession. Marco asked who was going to get in, and I told them, no, me. I am going to stand outside and watch if there is somebody who come in and disturb us, and must quickly report. Mark and Makimbi got into the house and Marco was the one who was in possession of the firearm. That's the end of paragraph 10.
Emva kokuthi-ke ngivaleke lolo cingo emva kokuthi avale lolo cingo wasesitshela ukuthi uKelly umshayeli wocingo efuna ukwazi ukuthi siyeza yini, and emva kwaloko-ke sasesiphume emotweni and sasesihamba ngey'nyawo ukuya endlini, and futhi-ke isibhamu sasiphume uphethe uMarco, and wayesesibuza ukuthi ubani ozongena endlini. Sasesike sikhuluma ukuthi-ke sizokwenza sengathi sizogebenga, and futhi isibhamu sasisisodwa and siphethe uMarco. uMarco wasebuza ukuthi ubani ozongena, and ngase ngimtshela ukuthi mina ngizobe ngime ngaphandle, ukuthi ngiqaphele ngaphandle ukuthi akekho yini ozoza azosithikameza, bese-ke ngishesha-ke ngiyabika ukuthi ukhona yini. uMarco-ke noMakimba bengene endlini, and uMarco-ke uyena owayephethe isibhamu.
Now, were these facts known to the investigative team?
Lokhu kwakwaziwa yini ithimba eliphenyayo?
No, my lord. As I said, the information contained in the docket only referred to accused 1 and 2. This was not known to us.
Cha, lonke ulwazi lolu lwakhona kudocument lwalukhuluma ngomsolo wokuqala nowesibili. Kwakungaziwa konke lokhu kuthini
At that stage, my lord.
ngaleso sikhathi.
And the fact that reference is made to the fact that one of the assailants had a firearm, what is your comment?
Thini ukuthi-ke kuthiwe omunye-ke wazenhlizizelelesi wayephethe isibhamu.
My lord, this corroborates the statements of the witnesses who were inside the house, who says the first suspect with dreadlocks had a firearm.
Lokho ngihambisana nofakazi obulethwe yilaba ababengaphakathi endlini ukuthi-ke lo owayenama-dreadlock uyena wayephethe isibhamu.
And what is your comment regarding the fact that mention is meant of the fact that two assailants entered the house?
My lord, that is also it also corroborates the statements of the people who were inside the house, because they describe two suspects, one short, one tall, my lord.
Yebo, futhi lokho kuhambisana nalabo ababengaphakathi endlini abasinufazi bokuthi babe babili abangena, omude nomfishane.
Is paragraph 11?
Paragraph 11, my lord. They entered and closed the door and demanded cell phones. According to them, they said they found 3 people in the house. That was Meiwa and the 2 girls in the dining room. One of those 2 girls was Kelly. They said Meiwa refused with the cell phone, and he stood up and grabbed each other with Marco. I'm reading as it's written here, my lord. Marco took out the firearm and shot at him. Kelly ran to the bathroom and came back while still pushing each other. And the sound of the firearm came out as a result of Kelly ran back to the bedroom, and the shots came 2 times again. And they came out running, and we ran into the car which was parked at the corner of the street. We drove to the hostel, and they said they never took anything, cell phone or money.
Bangena basebevala isitapha becela ama-cell phone. Ngalokho abakusho-ke bathi bathola abantu abathathu besendlini, kusho ukuthi lona uMeyiwa namantombazane amabili e-dining room. Ayengeke lamantombazane kwakuwuKelly. Bathi-ke umeyiwa wala ukubanika umakhalekhukhwini wakhe wama wazama-ke ukubamba umakho wakhipha isibhamu wasemdubula uKelly wagijima wabalekela ebedroom.
What is your comment regarding what is contained in paragraph 11, especially the first sentence where it's written they entered and closed the door and demanded cell phones?
My lord, it accords with what is contained in the witness statements. You know, to say the suspects who entered the house demanded cell phones. There is a part of money, but here is not contained. But the part of cell phones and money is contained in the witnesses' statements. Although here it's only the make mention is only of cell phones. That's the first part.
Yebo lo bufakazi lobo buhambisana nalobufakazi sabo unikwa estatementini salabo babekhona ngaphakathi ukuthi laba bangena behlasela bafike bafuna ama-cell phone.
My lord, it also accords with the struggle, because if you read the statements in the dockets, just that there was a struggle between the person who was carrying a firearm and the deceased. So accused number 1 in this paragraph mentions that, my lord.
Futhi-ke umsolo qale echaza futhi kwakunokubambana phakathi kwalo wayephethe isibhamu nomufi.
Furthermore, my lord, in this paragraph, accused 1 mentions the running away of Kelly Kumalo. And I seem to recall, my lord, that when the first shot was discharged, according to the statements, the people who were there ran to different directions. So that accords with what was said, my lord.
Futhi-ke uyasho lana ukuthi uKelly Kumalo wabaleka and itatement-ke zalabo bengaphakathi ziyasho ukuthi kuyathi umakhala isibhamu babaleka.
Yes. Specific references made to the fact that
Family, this is strange. I've just tried to put out this video, but it's a little bit long. But the truth is, when you listen to this part, what Brigadier is saying in court, and what the witness that was in the scene of crime being interrogated or cross-examined by Ramsey Billy, it brings two different stories. They don't add up. I wish anybody who will just come across this and listen to everything can just drop a comment and make sure that we are in the same page, because when we look at the statements, they don't make sense, because there's somebody that Brigadier doesn't want to talk about. It's Lometwala. According to the eyewitness who was in the house, he said the first person who stood up was Lometwala and ran outside. When we listen to the confession from the Gininda side of accused number 1, it says there were 3 people who were in the house. It was Kelly, Zandi, and Senzo Meiwa. It doesn't count Longwe, it doesn't count Kelly's mother, it doesn't count Tubelo, it doesn't count the son of Kelly, it doesn't count a lot of people. Then you start to wonder, who Gininda was he investigating in that house? Was his investigation so selective that he didn't want to touch certain people? Or he was trying to hide something? Because even the confession, as much as we have heard that these suspects never wrote any confession, they were meant to sign. And the truth now is about to come out, because when we listen to everything that is going on, comparing these two statements and coming to the gun that he is trying to bring up in court, that Chico's gun was tested and it was discovered that it was not Chico's gun. An eyewitness who was inside the house saying it was not a 9mm, it was a gun with a wheel. So who do they want to believe? Because the eyewitness is saying this. So they have, those people who cook this evidence should tell us, how did those bullets came about? Because we understand that Mr. Mgomezulu, Advocate Mgomezulu, asked Mangena about the splinters, because on the pictures it was showing that, okay, something has fallen down, but it doesn't show in the camera the splinter from the door, whereby they say there was a bullet that was taken out from there, but it didn't make it up to the laboratory, forensic laboratory. So that shows that we are really in a big problem. Our justice system is in shambles. We need to fix it. Family, listening to all these kind of things, putting up all the puzzle together, does the puzzle connect? I don't think so. Because I had to put different version from the eyewitness and from what Gininda is saying, so that we can connect the dots and see if this doesn't make sense. Family, just drop your comment respectfully. Let's fix our justice system. No matter what. As long as we still shout in the social media, they will feel it.